Yeah, Danish, I actually had a couple of questions in the assignment.
You had like some okay. Shall I open your assignment which was submitted by you, Arvind?
Yeah, sure.
Which one, day yesterday's or like the previous day 5 or day 6?
Day 6.
Day 6. Day 6. Downloads and down. Okay. So which question? Like all the okay, this is okay. Which question, Arvind?
So in third question,
Yeah.
so
Which one?
star A, B, C. So it takes it as a list
Yeah, all
for
the
A.
for A. Okay. Yes, Arvind. So that is why given the question so that you are aware. Even so, it is matching from like the number of variables, right? B and C they're being assigned to the this one. C is being assigned to 8, B is being assigned to 7, and rest all whatever the values are separated by commas. Now they will take it as a list.
Okay, but
Yes, yes.
in the next example, if you see it is taking, if you mention the individual elements without that star, it is taking
Hmm.
it as a tuple though.
Yes, correct. Actually, that is the like default behavior. Yeah, like that is the default behavior when you have tuples can also be separated by commas. Tuples can also be declared like this.
Okay, okay,
Okay, whenever you have a star a something, it will take it as a list.
okay, got it.
Okay.
So instead of A, so if you do A comma star B, will it take A to be 1 and then 2 to 7 would be for B?
Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. Instead of star a, star b. Okay. A is 1, B is 2, 3, 1. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubt, Arvind?
No.
Okay. So talking about strings. We have not seen much. Let me create a new file. Okay, so in Python we don't have any data type for characters. Okay, like we have in Java we have for characters we'll have a char. Okay, but it does not exist in Python. Okay, even if it is single character, that also will be considered as strings. Okay. Uh, Python treats a single character also as string. And strings are also immutable. Let's so we have one string here first name equals to last name Walker. So we can concatenate two strings. And just plus. Okay, so if we do like this, full name equals to first name plus last name. So Sam Walker. Now Sam Walker is having S capital and W capital. Okay, so we have a lot of methods and uh, like string. So we are going to see those. So this plus, if you see this plus sign, this is also applicable for addition of two numerical values, and also this plus operator is being used to concatenate two strings. Okay. Similarly, for replication of string, we use a star. Okay. Let's say we have got that full name. Okay. I want to replicate that full name 3 times. So I will do into 3. Okay. If I do into 3, then whatever the string is present, that will be repeated 3 times. Repeat string. Sam Walker, Sam Walker, Sam Walker. Okay. So is this plus and star the use of this? Is this clear, guys? Any doubt here?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now we'll see some methods like we have upper, lower. So if we want to convert uh, all the characters into uppercase, for example, let me print out them. Full name dot upper. Okay. So if we run this, so all the names are being printed in uppercase. Uh, Similarly, if you want to print the string in lowercase, we'll use the lower function. We run this. Going to This is I'm just using a separator between the different outputs. Okay. So this is in uppercase and this is in lowercase, but it is not looking. Let's make it 50, make it 50. Okay, upper lower is clear. So for lower, it is converting all the characters into lowercase. Upper, it is converting all the character into uppercase. So now suppose in this particular string, like Sam Walker, I want to find out whether a character is present or not. Okay. So for example, in this name, Sam Walker, I want to find out dot find any character. Okay. I want to find out S, for example. Then this also. So S is present at index 0. So yesterday we saw as I told you that this also behaves similar to list. So indexing all the concept that is applicable for list will be applicable here as well. Okay. So suppose I want to find out Sam, this entire word Sam. So this is also at 0. Suppose I want to find out. So see Sam, uh, the full name is Sam Walker. Okay. Uh, and we are searching for this substring here. Okay. So it is giving you the starting index. The starting index which is 0 here. Now suppose I want to find out walk. Okay. You tell me oh, what will be the return value for this walk? At which index is this walk this thing starting?
3.
3. Okay, so it should give us a 3 here. Okay.
So basically, it takes the first element in that string.
Correct. Yeah, the first element it will check the index of the first index. So suppose
Okay.
I give some value which is not matching. Okay. And if I try to run this, sorry, it is giving me a -1. Okay, -1 here means it is not present. Okay. Return.
Okay.
Find will return. So the methods upper, lower, find. Also we have method index. So index will index of suppose walk. Okay. Let's see what this is printing. Index. Index is also giving a similar output 3. Suppose I give some string which is not present, then index is going to throw this error, substring not found value error. Okay, but in the case of find, it was not throwing any error, it was just returning -1. So this is the difference between the two. Now, similar to find an index, we have something called R find and R index. Okay, R find, R index. So it is going to search in the string from right to left, like index, find and index of searching from left to right. So this R index will search from right to left. For example, we have this string, repeat string. Okay, this is having repeated this name Sam Walker 3 times. Okay, so this is the string. Now in this string, I want, if I do R find, okay, repeat string dot R find walk. So if I do this and run it, first let me find and this. Let me give here walk only for find. Let me mention here, this is for find, and this is for R find. Should be repeat. So repeat string dot find, repeat string dot R find. Okay, and index, let's comment out for the time being. Okay, so on the same string we are doing find and R find. Okay, so if I run this, so find is starting from left to right, so third value it took it W. Okay, but R find, it will start searching from right to left. Once it gets that, it will see at what index is present from the left. Okay, so find and R find. Similarly, we have R index and index. So R index also, it will start searching for the string from right to left. Okay, guys, is this clear? Any doubt here?
So while trying to find from right to left, is
Hmm.
it going to check for the first occurrence of K or is it going to check for W?
No, if you, it will take the starting one, W only, not K.
Okay.
Okay, because if you, let's check it out. If you see the length of the string, you see the length is 27. Okay, and it's giving you 21. So 21, 22, 23, 20. It will take W only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is done. And then we have some methods like starts with, ends with. So starts with and with, as the name suggests, it will check whether that string is starting with that particular thing or not. For example, let's see. Full name dot starts with. Let's suppose we want to find out the list of strings. I want to find out all the strings. Starting with in this case, it is what it is Sam, right? Starting with Sam. Okay, this we can use starts within those scenarios. If you run, it will return Okay, there is no underscore in this. This is one single function name starts with. If you run, it is returning a true value. Okay, it starts with this. But if we give some other value, like I convert this Sam to Samir, it will give me false here. Okay. So starts with, it will show, it will check whether a string is starting with this string or not. Okay. Similarly, starts with we have something ends with. Okay, if I give ends with Sam, it is going to give a false. Give a false, and if we mention ends with an R, then it is going to give us true. Okay. So this is starts with, ends with, and we have this function called replace. Suppose replace, right? I want to replace, let's say, replace Sam with Peter. Okay, so we're replacing this with this, and then we are printing the full name. So what is happening? It is not changing the original string, okay, because it is returning a new string, okay, after replacing it. So in this particular statement, where we are using this full name dot replace and printing the same, it is giving a Peter Walker. Okay, and the next line, when we are printing the same string, it is showing me the original value. Okay, so replace will return a new string. So now if we have, suppose, let's take, instead of full name, if I take a repeat string, okay, because here it is getting repeated. So let's see what we are getting here. So you see that it replaced all the instances of Sam. Okay, Sam Walker, it was wherever Sam was found, it replaced it with Peter. So any doubt, guys, so far? We're just seeing some simple methods. We are not seeing any logic building right now. We're just seeing some simple methods that we can use with string. So any doubt so far? Like, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's an important method called strip. Say we have a sentence. This uh, place for place. If you see, I have given this string is having a space, some extra space at the beginning. We have one extra space, and at the end we have one extra space. Okay, if I want, if you use strip, it is going to remove those extra spaces. Okay. If I print it now, you will not see this extra space. And let me print it also first before removing it. Before, how can I do that? So why we are getting this error, guys? Anyone why?
Maybe a typo, or did we print it before
Declaring.
declaring system?
Yes.
Okay.
So if I run this now, you see this extra space here. So it got so when we use this strip, it will remove this without giving any parameters. Strip without any character, without any parameter. Will remove white space characters. So what are white space characters? It is like space, tab, line. Okay, from the beginning and ending. So if there's space in between, it will not touch it. Okay. It will only remove from the beginning and ending. Okay. Now if sorry. Yeah, so it will still do this. Now if so, strip has got we have something called L strip and R strip also. L strip and R strip. Okay. So L strip will remove any white space characters from the beginning only. R strip will remove from the end. Will remove white space characters from the end. Okay, so if we have this was strip and R strip, what else important methods? This is very cool. We have something called split. So split is like it will convert your split will convert your string into a list. Okay, so for example, this sentence, right? If I do a split and store it in some variable, let's say A, and if I do a strip on this sentence, in this A, this was a sentence, guys. This is a good place for exercise. And after splitting, you see each word each word is being stored as one element in the string, in the list. Okay, here by default, split. So by default, it will take your white space characters as delimiter. Like how will it separate like one like how will you separate one element from the other element? That is by the help of the spaces. Okay, with the help of this space, it will separate the elements. Like if you see this was the string before using split. So this, then there's a space in between. Okay, so it will now it so it will think, okay, there's a space, so this is will be a second, it will be a second element. Again there's a space, a will be a third element. Again there's a space, good will be the fourth element, like that. And if we use split, for example here I want to split on this string is. Okay, instead of a normal split, I want to split on this is. I give is here. Okay, so what will happen, it will take th as one element, and this will be ignored. Again it may take a blank here, and this will be, let's see this. Okay, if we run this, so now instead of this white space characters, what it is doing, guys, it is using this is. So wherever there is an is here, this is acting as a delimiter. So you see after this is, we don't have any is, so this entire thing is being considered as one single element. You see this a good place for exercise. Oh, here also we have an is, so this acts as a delimiter. So till C we have one element, and after is E we have one element.
Anish, why is there a white space before th in the beginning?
Because when we are doing a strip here, na, this is returning a new string, but our original string is having this white space character here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Split, like split used to ignore this, no, white space. So in case of split without any parameter, it was automatically removing it. But with we are giving some explicit delimiter. Okay, whenever there is an is, then only separate the string into different elements. So that is why it is showing up there. See, in the end also, see there is one extra space here after E.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, and if I want to convert this list back to a string, this list or any list, we use join. Okay, so in this case, A is the list. Okay, I want to convert it back to a string. So what we will do, we have to give a delimiter here in quotes. So in this case, let's say I want the original string back. So I'm giving is here. Is dot join and the name of the list. Okay. So then we printed, then you can see the difference. Run this now. So what is happening when we are giving is as a delimiter, it is automatically uh, adding is at the end of each element and joining it. For example, this, so th it joined is here, okay, uh, and and this also this was an empty one, okay. So here it is placed inside this string, and then a good place for exercise. So these two will be joined by is, okay. So if I remove this is for the time being because this might be confusing in the beginning, I'm just giving a space to connect it back. Now if I run this empty separator, uh, yes, we don't need any codes. Now you see this entire thing was splitted, and then we joined with a with a space in between. So it joined all the individual strings with a space in between. Sorry, all the individual elements of the list with a space in between to form a string. Okay. If I don't give any space here, then what will happen? There will be all the elements will be sticking to each other. There will be no. So whatever you give in this string, which we are using with join, I want to give suppose star. Okay. Then all the elements of the list will be joined by star here. So if I run this, this is a good place for exercise star 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 star. So is this clear? This is very important. We'll be using it at different places, split and join. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here in this?
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay. Okay, so the split and join is clear. We have seen previously how do we convert your this one string to numerical values. For example, in the let me create a new file. Let's say we have string equals to 1, 2, 3. I can convert this to an integer, right, using an int of str. Okay, and when will this fail, guys? When it won't be able to convert this to an integer? Anyone remembers from the previous class?
When we provide actual characters.
Right. When we provide some characters inside, then if we run this invalid return, we get this kind of error. Okay. Similarly, if you want to convert to floating value, you can convert to a float also. That will work. If you want to convert this to let's suppose you want to convert this to a list, you use this list of str. You convert if you want to convert this to a tuple to a set, you can do it like this. to a list, to a tuple, to a set. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, now, so what do you, so we can
So
call it,
Tanish, your string is actually a data type, right? str.
right, okay, 1 minute. Because the color is different, right? We can, let me give st and run this. Yeah, correct. This is a built-in data type. Oh, okay. We should not use that name, otherwise it might be confusing. Okay, I just change it to st. So what I was saying, a set is, we can say, a collection of characters. Okay. Now, when we say characters, there can be different types of characters. Like, but here when we talk about not set, sorry, why I'm getting set. Yep. So what kind of characters? Called Unicode characters. So what are Unicode characters? Like this Unicode characters is the most commonly used now. Okay, it is Unicode. It has some way, it Unicode can define every character of mm, or any language that is spoken around, any language that's spoken across the globe. Okay, be it French, be it Chinese. So we can represent all those characters with the help of Unicode. Okay, how it does? It will generate. It has some what we call number. It has some unique number for each character. For like even for Chinese, there are so many. There will be so many characters. So it will be having some. It has some numbers that is going to identify that particular word or that particular character. So in this way, it is able to uniquely identify like any it is used to represent any characters. Okay, so just to summarize, basically what kind of characters, it's Unicode characters. Okay, because we have something called ASCII characters also here, CII. Okay, this is for this is basically used to use in what do you call, for electronic communication, whatever characters. There are only limited characters in this 128, I guess. But Unicode is for, it can work with any languages across the world. And Unicode only is in most of the websites, if you see, they will be using Unicode characters only. Okay. So this was basically about Unicode. What kind of characters in Python? Unicode characters. Okay. So Unicode characters are many. It is around how many? It is around 1.5, I think. 1,50,000 characters. It can represent strings. Okay, so this was about strings. Now we have something similar to string. They are another data type we are going to see. Okay, they are bytes. Okay, we can convert a string. So basically, bytes is also a data type in Python, and so our system, our computers only understand bytes. If you want to store some file and all, and later you see it will show 2 KB, yeah, 1 MB. Okay, it is because computers only understand things in bytes. Okay, now if you want to store something in your system, for example, uh, if you want to store mm, if you want to store anything, like if you want to store some music, some video files in your system, okay, if you want to store it, it will first convert this to byte. Okay, it will convert it to byte using some mechanism, some encoding mechanism, we can say, some encoding mechanism before saving in our system. Before saving for example, a video file, it will make use of those MP4, MP3, like musical files, because it cannot save it as a raw, like this. You have to convert it to uh, uh, with the help of these. When you save it as MP3, MP4, so that converts your videos into bytes and saves it in the computer. Okay, in your system. So similarly, if you want to, for the strings also, if you want to save string in system, if you want to save string into your system, or if you are what do you call or if you are sending it across the network, okay, like if you are sending it from one system to another system, then also it has if you want to save string in a system, or if you want to send it across a network, you have to convert that string to bytes. Okay, so before saving in your system, or if you want to, for if you want to send it across the network, then also your string, it won't understand string. You have to convert it into bytes. Okay, so to convert a string into byte, this is a string, you have to use some encoding mechanism. Okay, for example, in this name string, I want to convert this to a byte. So what we have to do, we have to make use of this encode method. Okay, now encode method, this can be, the most commonly used is UTF-8. Okay, so what is UTF-8? It is a way, UTF-8 is a way to represent your Unicode characters. Okay, UTF-8, we have UTF-16, I think UTF-32 is there. These are just different, these are uh, different standards for Unicode characters. Okay, these are different standards, and UTF-8 is the most commonly used one. Okay, UTF-8 is the most only used. So now if you print, let's print this name and print this name underscore B. Bytes. So if you see the output, so there is a B at the beginning. That indicates that this is a byte. And if you see the data type of this, so it is a bytes data type. Okay, and if you want to convert this, for example, you have sent it to someone else. You have sent some string value to to a different system. So before sending it, it will convert it into bytes. So once the second system receives it, it will again convert it, decode it back to here the original string. I want to convert this like byte back to a string. So we'll make use of the decode method that is present. Encode and decode. Okay, encode is for converting a string to a byte, and decode is for converting that byte back to a string. So is this clear, guys? Any doubt here? What is the use of a bytes data type, and how we are converting it to a string to a byte and byte to string? So here you just need to understand, for storing anything in our system, for storing a string value also in a system, we have to convert it into bytes because our computer only understand bytes. Okay. Or for sending it across the network. These are two cases where we deal with bytes, and we use encode and decode to convert a string to byte and back from a byte to a string. Okay. And
So,
also, yes, sir.
so when we are decoding, say something is encoded in UTF-16 or 32, how would we know whether we need to decode it in that
Yes,
particular
that,
one?
yes. So that the one who is sending, he should inform. Otherwise, our data will be different. We won't be able to decode it. So for decoding, it is must you should know what encoding mechanism is being used. You cannot guess.
Okay.
You should know beforehand. Okay, this is the decoding mechanism that we have to use. Okay,
Okay.
and also when we will be dealing with your what do we call um, um, like binary files and all, there also these bytes will come into picture. Okay, we'll see that when we cover about files and all. So this was about strings and byte. So I covered it together because those are like interrelated. You have to convert string to byte. So these were the data types, basic data types that we have covered so far. We covered initially integer, float, and those things, and today we have covered string and byte. Okay. Now what else we have for today? Zip, generator, expression, dictionary comprehension, and functions. Okay. Okay, zip. What zip will do? Let's have a list of names so we have this name Sam, Ter, Anand, Madhu. So we have this list, and we have another list of city where it will have the corresponding city where they lived in. For example, Sam lives in Bangalore, and Peter lives in Pune, Anand lives in Kolkata, and Madhu lives in Chennai. Okay. Then if I want to just combine name city, I do zip and I print this. IMP, important concepts. If I run this, okay, so after zipping, we can convert this to a list. Zipping, but zip is a different object. So you see this, guys, like it is combining the index wise, it is combining Sam with Bangalore. Okay. Peter with Pune, Anand with Kolkata, and Madhu with Chennai. And I'm converting this zip object into a list. So outer side, we have this list bracket. Okay. Can also convert it to a tuple. Okay, so just for combining two lists or two tuples, you can just zip so that it is paired together. You can have multiple lists here separated by commas inside the function. But suppose there's a mismatch in the numbers. So list names is having 4 elements, list city is having 4 elements. So let me add one more name here. Okay, now the list of names is having 5 elements and list of city is having 4 elements. Okay. If I want to run this, is there any change in the output, guys? Or is it the same? Oh, I have added Danish there extra. Is it showing in the output?
No.
Okay, so whenever there is a mismatch in the numbers, it will till the point it is matching 3 3 done. Any extra element, it will ignore it. Okay, is it clear, guys? The use of zip.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have, generator expression and dictionary comprehension. Okay. So we know about list comprehension, right, guys? We learned about list comprehension. Right, we used to use in bracket, right? like this. Numbers for number in the range of 1 to 100 if, or let's say, let's take this list. Okay, let's take this list. Name for name in this list. Okay, in this list of names, if name dot starts with let's add some more names here. Samuel. If it starts with S, again I want to print this list. So it is having like Sam and Samuel. The string from this particular list, we are creating a new list where the name of the string starts with S. Okay, this was list comprehension. I hope that is clear, guys. Any doubt in that?
So first, why you mention a name? That is.
This is a variable. If we use a for loop also to iterate over that list, how do you use? We have to give some variable name here for any variable
Mhm.
name E in list of names, and like then E represent your each element, right? We can print E, it will print all the elements of that. Okay, so
Yes.
similarly, just in the place of E we have given a variable name. Okay.
Okay.
Now suppose I want to create a dictionary in this using in this way only, like a one-liner. Okay, so we can create it like this. The dictionaries are in curly braces, so we can have the same logic, only a little bit will be different because dictionary consists of key value pair, right? Let's say we have a name. This is the, suppose name is the key and the value will be length of the name. Okay, so name will be the key, length of name will be the value for, and rest I think should be fine. Let's run this. Print. So see, this is the key and this is the value. Okay, so only the, what is the difference between the two? We are giving this bracket, this curly braces, and we have to give key value pair. So this is the key and separated by colon. This is the value. Okay, and this also, so we are getting key as the string and this value as the length of that string. So any doubt here, guys? It is clear.
Yeah, can you repeat it one more time, please?
Yeah, sure. So list comprehension is clear.
Yeah.
So the dictionary starts is it's always in this bracket, right? Curly braces, as we have seen previously.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we giving here we are using only single variable. Okay, but list consists of key value pair, right? So key and the value should be separated by colon here. So I'm creating a dictionary from this existing list. You can also, for example, if you want to have if you want to create a dictionary with number from 1 to 10 as key.
So their name was the key and len of name, was it the value?
Yes. And the
Okay.
cube of the number as value. Okay. So if you want to create something like this, a dictionary with number from 1 to 10 as key and the cube of that number as value. Okay, so how are you going to do this, guys? How are we
We can
going to
use
do it?
range.
Starting with, initially we have to give some variable name here. Let's
Yeah.
say number. Okay, so this is the key. And what is the value?
A cube of that number.
You have that number separated by colon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have covered, dictionary, generator expression. Okay, generators. Yeah, generator is like similar to list. Okay, this generator express. We have something called generator functions also that we will see when we are going to cover about functions. But let's talk about generator expression right now. So let's do the same thing. This one. We change the name gen and we have to give the first bracket here. And let me print this. Run this. So if you see, guys, we are not getting output here. Instead, we are getting a generator object, and in bracket we have generator expression. Okay. So to print the values from generator expression, we can use a loop, or we have to use this next and the name of that generator where we are storing the value. Okay. Like so what is happening here? So this is not getting printed, but if we print this next of okay, if I printed next, I use this next and then the name of that. So it gives you the first element, Sam. Okay, now if I want the second element, again I have to do a next of this. So there are only two elements. So after two elements, if we use this next of this and we run this, so Sam and Samuel was present in this. So there are no more elements. So when we use next again, we are getting this stop iteration exception. Okay. So this is one way using next, and we will get one exception. Okay. Or else rather than printing like this, what you can do, comment out this next ones for or element in list of gen. Okay, you can print it using. Now, what is the difference between the two, generator expression and this? Is that First thing, you have seen the syntax difference, okay? We are using first bracket, and then for printing, we are using this next or a for loop, okay? But what is the main difference is, in the case of list, what happens, list comprehension, as soon as this statement is executed, so suppose if this returns 1,000 elements, so your memory is blocked for those 1,000 elements in case of list comprehension, okay? But in case of generator, even if there are 1,000 elements inside this, the memory is not blocked for those 1,000 elements, okay? It is like, on demand, when we demand it using a next or a for loop, then only this number is getting generated. But unlike list, where as soon as the list is created, all the elements are stored in the memory, that is not the case for generator. Generator, you can say it's like, lazy evaluated. So once we have this, like we have this generator expression. Now, if you want to extract value from this, when you do a next, okay, then it will take out one value. So memory consumption for generators are very less as compared to list, because it is not storing all the elements at a time in the list. Okay, it is just storing as a generator object. When we demand next, then it gives me a single element. Again, a next, a single element. Okay, so this is the difference between a generator expression and a list comprehension. Any doubt here, guys? Anyone?
So, Danish, so the thing is, with next, say with this particular condition, we are trying to find the first occurrence of S, and it is printing Sam. And when we do next, it is not finding anything. So the value that is getting stored to list gen would just be Sam, is it?
No, in this list gen, there is no value stored here in this. Like it has some references, like, but it is not containing the value. When we do a next, then it is going to like fetch that value and put it. You can store it in a variable also. Each names here.
Okay.
Okay, unlike list where we have all the elements, already uh before, you may use it or not, but here when you call it, then only they will give you that value, first value, second value, like that.
Okay.
Okay, so memory, the main difference is better use of memory here in case of generator expression. Otherwise we will go with list comprehension. In case of like small, like 5-10 elements, fine. But we have, 10,000 records. I don't want to block my memory for those 10,000. I only, from those 10,000, suppose I need only 100. There's some conditions on, I have to put some like filtration on that filter. So in those cases, we will use generators. That would be helpful. Okay. So this was
Okay.
about generator expressions. We have something called generator functions also, that we will see once we start with functions. Okay. So this is also covered. Any other doubt, guys? Anyone? This four are covered. Now we'll see about functions. Function. So functions is defined in Python by this def keyword. Okay. So so already we have used some inbuilt functions. Right? Can you name some of them? What we have used so far? Inbuilt functions. Inbuilt functions, we have used print, we have used type. What else we have used, guys? Now what we are seeing, these are
List
used.
of, and to convert one
We have,
data type to another one.
we have used in int functions also, list also. many more dir as well. So there are many input function. So now what we are seeing is user is defining user defined function. We are defining our own functions here. Okay, so let's define a function which is going to display or welcome everyone. Welcome. Which will just print welcome everyone. Simple function. It's just printing this welcome everyone. Okay, so this is the function we have defined. So this where we are defining what the function is doing. This is called function definition. Okay. Function definition. We are calling the function here. Function calling. So we already have a function. I want to call the function. How can we call it? We can call it with the name of the function. Okay, because function always has brackets, so I can call it like this. So let me run this. So it is printing us this. Okay, any doubt here, guys? How do we define a function and how we are calling it?
Yeah, fine.
No.
Okay, now let's suppose I want to store this after calling this function. I'm storing it in some variable and I'm printing this variable. If I run this, what it is printing, guys? So we
None.
are none. So welcome everyone is being printed from this function, but this result where we are storing, we are getting none. Okay. Why we are getting none? Because we are not returning anything from this function. We are just printing in this function. Okay. Now suppose I add one statement here called return. Return, let's say I'm just printing, I'm returning one string value. Okay, this is the return value. Now if you run the same program, so we will get this return value. Okay, so we understood, so this function return statement is optional. Okay, return statement is optional. Okay, if you don't give anything, it will return none.
But Danish, when we actually
Hmm.
call the function
Hmm.
without storing it,
Hmm.
it was actually able to print it, right? It was able to execute and print it. But when we store it to a variable, if there is no return, it will return none. Is it because it is a string or print?
No, so what is happening? See, because we have a print statement. If we don't have any print statement, okay, and if we call this function without storing, suppose I call it here, okay, it is not going to return anything, right? Neither is going to print anything because we don't have any print statement inside that function. I have commented that. Okay, if I call this function now, there will be no output. You know, it will be no output, blank.
Okay.
Just because my function was doing it, so that is why we are getting that value. Okay, but if you store this in some, you call this function, it is returning, so you store it here, okay? So it will get that return value. It won't print anything because we have commented this print. Okay, Arvind, is this clear?
Still a little confusing actually between print and return in functions.
No, see, print, don't confuse between us. Let's say we don't have any print statement. Okay, this is just returning this.
Mhm.
Okay, we have only one statement, that is a return value. Okay, so when we call this function welcome everyone, is it doing anything? It's doing nothing. It is just returning this value.
Okay.
Okay, it is just returning this value we're getting. But if we have some statement inside it, it will be executed. There might be, for example, let's say we are passing some parameters to this function a comma b. Okay, and we are finding the sum of this. Sum is this one. We are adding the two a plus b, and we are returning this add. Okay. And then if we call this, so if we call only this function, welcome everyone, only the function, are we going to get any output in the console? Are we going to see it, guys? What will be the
No,
output? No output, because we are not printing anything here, right?
yes.
We are not printing. Oh, we have to pass that parameters also. Sorry, 12 comma 13. Uh, no output. Okay, but we it is returning something, so we have to store it somewhere. This value, either you store it or you mention this in a print function. Okay, but let's not confuse with print function right now. Just imagine that when you have some values which is being returned, you have to store it in some variable to see the output. Okay. So you have to store it in some variable and we have to print it. Is it clear, Arvind?
Yeah, clear now.
Now let's see, we have one function, right? Input in built-in function. What is the return type of that? What it does? It will take input from the user and will convert it into a, will take input and will convert it into a string, right? Remember input function. Let's suppose I want to build a similar function here. I want
I
to,
have one question. Shall I ask it?
yes, yes.
So, yeah. Suppose same function we write it welcome everyone,
Hmm.
but one of the print statement also required for here.
We can print this, so we can print A and B here inside this,
Uh,
no?
so in that time,
Hmm.
only I need to call a function or I need to store in the variable. So can
So,
you write it in one name, print or something? Just to give it and so execute this condition. Just like this.
okay.
Yeah.
So what will happen here? So when this function is getting called, okay, it will go to this, okay, it
Yes.
will print this, and then it will do this add a plus b, and then it will return this. Okay, so in this case, when you run this, so when you call this, while it is in this function only, this is going to be printed parameters and a value of a. Okay, and
Okay.
once this all the statements are executed, it encounters a return. It will come back and store the result add here. So it is going to print both parameters a also as well as the print result in this case.
So,
Okay, parameters 12 and the result also.
okay. So it's a better to store in a variable always
It
a
always
function.
depends. what is your business logic, which you are trying to what is a business logic like? What do you want? Why are you creating that function? Why are you creating the function? For which use?
Okay.
That is important. Why? For example, let's change the name. Def add. So I'm clear why this function is present. I want to pass two parameters. It will return me the addition, like after adding the two parameters. Okay.
Mm.
We have another method called def sub. It is going to subtract the two and give the difference. Or let's not have the same name. It will be confusing for it. Let's say add adding. A minus B return subtract. Okay, so now when you call this, you are clear. You should always, before creating a function, you should have this clarity what this function will do. It will add two numbers and it will return me the result. Okay, then you are going to define it like this. But if you have a business logic, no, I don't want to return. I just want to print it there only. Then we won't have the return statement. We'll just print it here.
Okay. We will
Okay.
call function directly without
We'll call the function
storing
without
it.
storing the result. So it depends on your requirement. Why are you using that function?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, guys. Any other doubt, guys? So that is why you will see just after the function is defined, we will give this triple quote and we will write the purpose of this function. So we'll write this function. This function is for adding two numbers. It will take two parameters as input. It will take two parameters as input and return the sum of the two parameters. This is called doc string. This as soon as the function is defined in this, if it is multi-line, if description of the function is expands to more than one line, you can give it in triple quotes, and this is called doc string. Okay. It describes what the function is doing so that any person who is reading the function, they can understand by seeing this. Okay, this is what the function is doing. Okay, about the function. And
So docstring and multi-line comments are the same, or
same docstring. Even you can have a not a multi-line, but no, but both are not same. So it is just describing some. It can be if it's a single line on. If you're suppose you have only this comment till here. Okay, you can give it in a single quote, but this will be called docstring only. Okay, and
okay,
if you want to see, for example, you are not seeing this function, you only want to see what this function, what is the docstring for this. So what you can do here, like we have this variable, I think, print add, uh, we have something like this, doc. Is working or not, I also don't remember. No, It has got no attribute. Let's see by doing like this dir of. So we can, by giving the function name, and we have an attribute. I am not remembering that attribute, with the help of which we can, for any function, we can see this one docstring for that. So let me check it once if I can find it. Is there something called doc? Okay, we have this doc. You see this doc? Underscore doc. Okay. So if we use it with this add and this, okay. So it will print you what this function is doing, what we have given as input. Okay, you see this? For any
Yeah,
function,
got it.
for any inbuilt function also. For example, let's take print. Print, will this work? So print, so the doc string similar to what we have defined here, no? So inbuilt print function is also this definition. So it prints the value of a stream by default, optional keyword argument, sep, hand, flush, file. If you want to see that what this input function does, inbuilt input function, you can just input and then underscore doc. So it reads the string from standard input. The trailing new line is stripped. The prompt string if given is printed to standard output without this. Okay. So in this, so this is what is called doc string, guys. It will describe about that particular function. So in this case, we are seeing about function. So if we, when we go to classes, we will see that in class also, just after declaring the class, we can give this summarization of what this class is doing. Okay.
And
So
Danish, while returning a value, so
hmm,
say in the add function,
hmm.
so you are storing it in a variable called adding, but return of add is going to return what that function is going to return, the result of that function, is it?
Oh, sorry, I give add. So we are returning this variable. You can return anything, any string also, whatever you wish. But this function, like the business logic is for, we have to return the sum of the two numbers. So we are returning, summing it up and returning it. Okay. Instead of
Okay.
doing like this, you can also, directly return A plus B. This is also fine. It will calculate the sum and it will return it.
Okay.
Okay, and return is the last statement. If we have any other statement after return, it is not going to be executed. For example, in this function, I am returning after this a plus b, okay? And when I call this function, 12, 13, so you will see this print welcome is not, will not be printed because return is the last statement in a function. See, 25 got printed, but this is not got printed. Anything after return will not be printed. The control will be back here from where we are calling the function. Okay. Return is the last state. After a return is the last statement in the function. Is it clear, guys? Any doubt? Okay, if no doubt, then we have a lot to cover in functions. So we'll meet on Monday and we'll learn more about functions. Okay, we just started. There are many other things here to learn in these functions.
One
Okay, guys.
question, Danish.
Yes.
So if return is the last statement or like the last that will be executed in a function, why would we have something after return? Do we typically have something there or?
No, we don't have anything there.
Okay.
But in you, so if you are attending some, some MCQ something, they will try to just test you out after giving some statement after return. They will see like what is your understanding. Just for that. But generally, I have never seen anything out because everyone knows after return, there's no point, right? It won't be executed, so we don't have anything.
Okay, got it.
Okay, guys. So any other doubt, guys?
Sir, can
Yes.
we return function name also? Like return add?
Can we return function name? No, if you return this function name add, okay. So what will happen? First, it will not understand, I think, what is add. Let's see this. So it is returning a function only.
Okay.
It is
You
just
can't.
returning a function add at this, something like this. Okay.
Yes.
If this is happening in Python, I don't think so. They will allow this in Java. But anyways, this is the thing. Okay. Any other doubt, guys?
Yeah, and why do we go for functions, like user-defined functions?
Why do we go? Suppose, yeah, that is one code reusability. Code reusability. For example, um, in your suppose a user wants to do some activity, like if you go to withdraw some amount from ATM, okay. So first, you did a withdraw. You want to check your balance, okay. Okay, you have checked your balance. Again, you did some transaction. Again, you want to check your balance. So instead of writing it at multiple places the same logic, what I can do, I can have that logic at one particular place. So whenever we use it, we call only the function name. We don't write the logic there inside the function. So these are very simple functions. But if we have some very long function where we give lot of there will be a lot of steps inside it. So and a user frequently need to execute that part of the code. So we put that in a function so that it can be called, at multiple times, and you don't have to write 20 lines. If this function is having 20, 30 lines, and you don't need to call the entire thing, no? You just need to call the function name and it will do the work for you. Okay, so
Okay,
code reusability is the main thing here. Like something you need very often in your program, you put it in a function and then you use it.
okay.
Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, so if none, then I think we can wrap up the session. Do work on the assignment, guys, because working on the assignment will actually help you to remember the concept what we are doing. Okay, then thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.